as children, many of which are delayed reaction, almost like a time capsule. It's like set to go off down the road. Some of this stuff basically gives you cancer down the road and causes birth problems down the road, birth defects down the road, because these people are very much anti-life and anti-creator, as I have said multiple times before. And they're really attacking the creator on all fronts. It's a slap in the face of the creator when you attack creator's creation and creator's creatures. So the body takes care of what it needs, and what they do to make sure that the vessel cannot really secure itself the way it should and the way it has the power to do from birth is they make sure that instead of your mother feeding you her milk, which has everything you require for the most part, she's giving you manufactured and chemical-based things, cow milk or animal milk, which is for cows. You're not a cow. You're a being, and you're just like a cow gets a baby calf gets its nurturing from its mother, as do most of the animals in nature. A baby being, or so-called human or person or people, whatever you want to call us, we're supposed to get our nurturing and our fulfillment from our mother or creator as well, because the creator has the most of what you need. So when they damage the plant life with these genetically manufactured seeds and they screw up the air with their chemical, biological trails of poison, and they keep everything they're doing makes the planet more acid, which makes the body have a difficult time securing itself. And then they put sodium fluoride in the toothpaste and in the water. The sodium fluoride, if you look in the dictionary, it is rodenticide, which means rat killer, and insecticide, which means insect killer. And if you've got enough of it, will kill rats and people. Insects, eventually it'll start doing something to people too. So all of the things they're doing are to degenerate your capacity to be immune to things, and they tell you it's immunity. But it's like this. Why are you compelling and forcing people over in so-called Africa to take your inoculations or vaccinations that you're calling immunizations, when in fact you don't like them like that? You really are trying to kill them off. It's not like, oh, you need to take these shots, but we're trying to save you. You don't even like them enough to try to save them. So whatever you're giving them, you're trying to kill them. Seriously. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. But that's all I wanted to say about it. I haven't read the article, but that's my contribution based on what I know about inoculations and vaccinations that they call immunization shots, and they're not. Your body has its own immunity system. Everything else is foreign. Seriously. Especially if it's not real food or electric food or alkaline food. Go ahead.
Right, it's foreign to the body. Yeah. Wow. KJ, you got anything that you wanted to say to that?
She said it was, I don't think I could say nothing after that. But yeah, I feel it. A lot of our people are just. I'm happy you kind of brought this up, because a lot of our sisters who are having their children think and is literally afraid of not giving their children immunization shots. A lot of them saying if they don't get these shots, they can't go to school. They can't, they're going to get sick and die. I when I first found out and started, looking into the dangers of these vaccinations, I tried to convince, because, I don't have children at the moment, but I tried to, tell my friend, especially my friend, because she was just on her way to get her children vaccinated. And I was giving her all this information, everything. She was on her way to the doctor. And then, she still ended up giving her children these shots because the doctors told her that it will, her children will be sick. They would, literally, get something so bad they're going to die. I also saw that bully this sister. It was, I'm just going to be brief. It was a show on television about over a year ago. And I was at my mother's house. She was watching this birthing show, and it was this black couple, on there, and they were like, no, we're not giving our children any shots. We're not going to give my baby girl, when she come out, I'm not giving her anything. So they were real adamant. And so they went to the doctor, and the doctor was giving them all this information and saying you put your child at risk, and you don't want, you're going to be a bad parent. I mean, literally, in so many words, saying this to that couple. And do you know they buckled and got that and shot their baby up with all that stuff? And I'm like, wow.
Well, if they had done,
ahead, sis.
Go ahead.
No,
I thought she was done. My bad. If they had not, because they went, see, people that are waking up across the ethnic divide and the rainbow spectrum, particularly melanin-rich people that are waking up, when you start encountering what it is that they want to do, like what's going over here overseas, what they will do, if you make the mistake that this couple made that KJ was just referring to, which is you go to a doctor and you attempt to get their opinion on a thing, and you make them aware of your position about a thing. They're taking notes and writing these things down and documenting what you're saying. You can quickly find that you have been reported to Child Protective Services, and they are going after people like that and sending people with law enforcement to your door to kick your doors down if you won't let them in and walk off with your children at gunpoint. And a lot of people are like, well, you're not going to take my children. And if you want to fight the matter, you can wind up incarcerated. And if you're behind bars, you can't help your child, visit your child, or fight the case, or even show up in court. If you screw around and allow law enforcement to shoot you on the spot because you're resisting so much, now you're dead. Your child is in the system forever. No chance of you getting the child back. And usually they make it difficult, if not darn near impossible, for your relatives to get the child back. So, you kind of have to stand by. So the thing to do is, if you're going to entertain the thought of not doing these kind of things, you don't go to the enemy that wants to give you the poison and tell them, well, I'm thinking about not taking your poison, and we've been giving it a lot of thought, and I don't think we want to give our child these poisons. What do you think, doctor? Because, I don't think it's a good thing. Well, they're going to try to convince you that it is a good thing, and they're going to convince you that it is a good thing, and 90% of the time you're going to wind up taking the shot. And if you don't, because you put yourself on the radar it's kind of like being in the classroom and the teacher saying, well, who wants to answer? And you're jumping up and down, waving your hand, going, me, 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 me. When you go to the doctor and start answering these questions, you're jumping up and down, waving your hand, going, me, 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 me. I don't want to do it. Let me wave my hand and tell you I don't want to do it. You need to stay the hell up out there. They're so busy that you don't go. They don't even know about you, what you do or don't have. For all they know, you moved away and moved out of city, moved out of state, moved out of county, moved out of country. You could be somewhere else seeing a different doctor. It's not like they're trying to hunt you down and go, so-and-so and so hasn't been in to see their shot lately. I mean, they really don't have time. If you go in here and you start screaming and hollering, jumping up and down and waving your hand, going, look at me, I don't want your shots, what do you think? Are you out of your damn mind?
What are you asking them for in the first place?
Huh?
You're asking them for their permit. You're asking them what do they think. So that right there lets them know that you're not even sure about what the hell you're talking about. I'm not going to give my baby the shot, but what do you think? And if
you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be there asking them anything, like you're saying.
Exactly. And I just went through that too, and shit. They send them letters in the mail all the time talking about your baby is so and so many months and haven't been seen, haven't had their shot. We need to make your appointment. They even called me. They even called me and said, an appointment, because she hasn't been seen. You need an appointment. I said, okay, we'll get in there. That's all I say. And hang the phone up. But you gotta, like I said, don't be telling all your damn business. And I'm thinking about this actual thing happening with them arresting people who won't take this vaccination. This is reminding me of when I brought this up on one of these shows before. I don't know which one, but it reminds me of the one of the documentaries I saw or the videos I saw with Credo Mutwa. Credo, first name, last name, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, W-A, Mutwa. And he's M-U-T. I'm sorry?
You forgot the U. It's you forgot the U. My bad. I'm just helping you out for the listeners. It's M-U-T.
M-U-T-W-Y. Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I've actually saw it spelled the other way, too, so I don't even know which way is right. But, yeah. Look up Credo Mutwa. And he's a Shama, he's a Zulu Shama, Amazulin, and he's a Shama, and he was telling a story. Right? I'm sorry?
Oh, it's a shaman.
Shaman, yeah.
Yeah. So-called African medicine man, for lack of a better word. Shaman.
Right.
Oh,
H-A-M-A-N.
you want me to tell you what it was? I'm sorry, girl. I'm slow right now. Y'all forgive me. I'm just trying to get this story out. I apologize.
No, you just keep getting interrupted. It's all. Me and her, too.
Okay. Y'all know y'all can't do that because y'all throw me off. Anyway, so, okay, this is what he said. I was watching his video, and he was talking about how when he was a little boy, the missionaries, a.k.a. missionaries, the Caucasians or melanin deficiencies, what you want to call them, the pink people, they came over there to give the people the shots, especially the children. They came to vaccinate the children. And so his mother and grandmother and grandfather and father, they all refused to give the children those shots. But they didn't tell them, you're not going to get we're not going to take your shots, screw your shots. What they did was they took like some kind of iron and burned it, and then they put it on their children's skin so it looked like they've already had the vaccination. And he was explaining how that's how they were able to trick them. Every time they came, they had to go through this what do you call it, searing or burning to trick them from giving them the vaccination. And he was explaining how that's how his village were able to still, those who didn't take the vaccination, that's how they were still able to have, they were able to see. They were, they were really clear seers, if you will. Their first eye was really open because the vaccination, he was explaining how the vaccination shuts that first eye down. It actually really works on your pineal gland to shut it down. And so this reminds me of that very thing. Now they're going back in Africa saying, you're going to take these shots, and if you're not, we're going to arrest your ass on the spot. And it just seems like it's the same thing to me. And so just like Dr. Yaffa was saying, you can't tell them everything you're doing. Don't go in and tell them everything, talking about, I done did my homework, I did my due diligence, and I'm not going to give them nothing, and and kiss my ass. You might be in some trouble. So I just wanted to give that little story because this happened before, years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I think Frito's about, 70 years old? 80? He's up there. So this happened just that long ago, and probably even further, and it's still happening today. And like the article was saying, Bill Gates, don't he own the largest vaccination company that there is or something? It's something, he got something to do with him, but none of his children have been vaccinated.
Right.
So that right there should
usually
make
with them is do as I say and not as I do. Do as I say and not as I do.
Exactly.
So it stands to reason. But that's why Credo is so clear in his cognizance, because he didn't accept the dummy-down shots. And it's happening. You said, they're going back into Africa. Well, they're back in America on the same tangent. They're doing the same thing. Remember that European woman that didn't want her child to take, or so-called white woman, she didn't want her child to take whatever this stuff is that they do for chemotherapy for the cancer.
Oh,
and I'd like some second and third opinions, and she went to South America or wherever she was going to try to get some other opinions to see if there was some alternatives to the chemotherapy, which as a mother, you should have the right to do that. And they decided to hunt her down and throw her in jail because she wanted an alternate opinion. Well, the last time I checked, don't they say, well, you have 3 months to live, and if we don't do this and this, you're going to die. And it's like, well, let me get some other opinions on that.
Get a second
well,
opinion,
she's trying
right?
to go get some other opinions, and they throw her in jail. They're doing the same thing here. I'm talking to a brother now that's going through the very same thing. He and his empress are vegetarian. They're awake or waking up or attempting to be awake. They're raising their child, nursing their child, well-fed, neat, clean young man. But they take the child. The child has been to the doctor. Well, you either are in this awake movement or you're not. They have 1 foot in and 1 foot out when it comes to that on the children because they're after everybody's children. So something happened where somebody, he believes it was his father, contacted Child Protective Services, who came and knocked on his door about a child that has no birth certificate, no Social Security card. The child is breastfed, well cleaned, nurtured with awake, aware, vegetarian parents, and now they have, and I think their child is 6 months old or younger. This is a child that can't even talk and tell you what the hell is being done to them. Now they can't get this child back. They're trying to fight with the system and asking me what to do. I really don't know what you should do. I know one thing, the system should have even known about your child to even have, and what's so cold is the child had been seen not that long prior by a doctor. The child is very clean and very well fed and well cared for and well nurtured and whatever. The child has been in Child Protective Services for all of 1